is News 10 at 5:30. Live with Elisa Streeter and Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo.
We report to you.
Albany police responding to a neighborhood in need say this man's arrest is a step in the right direction.
We're getting a lot of complaints over here, so we're trying to concentrate some efforts in the area and try to clean up the problem.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Elisa Streeter. A familiar mission today for Albany cops. Armed with search warrants and battering rams, narcotics detectives raided 2 First Street homes in the West Hill neighborhood in pursuit of low-level drug dealers. And as Dan Levy reports to you, the police actions are stirring up all kinds of emotions.
We'll be out of here in We're here under a search warrant.
When Miriam Williams arrived home this morning at 537 First Street, the 2-story townhouse was cordoned off, and police were all over the place. Still, she insisted they allow her inside to check up on 3 of her children.
I work 2 jobs. I'm not a druggie. I do not.
Your son is. Your son's arrested.
The expedite please to 537
My
First.
son's arrested. What did you find on my son? No, what did you find on my son?
Son is going with us.
18-year-old Neil Williams was let out of his home in handcuffs, charged with criminal sale of cocaine. The Special Investigations Unit spent about an hour searching the Williams home, and when they were through, they had found absolutely nothing.
And my son was arrested. They didn't find any drugs in my house. They didn't find any drugs on him.
Mrs. Williams is also furious because police trashed her home, leaving broken glass, splintered wood, messed up clothing, and furniture strewn across the floors.
I don't think it's right for honest people who work hard to buy what they want, and then the police just came in and just tore it apart. I don't think that is right.
While police were searching the Williams home, they also raided 526 First Street, a short distance away. They say they found cocaine there and later arrested a 17-year-old boy. Neighbors continually peeking out at the overt activity, and some neighbors overtly satisfied with the results.
So I'm glad they're doing what they're doing, but I don't know if that's everything they can do. But, you know, it's really bad here, and we really do need, you know, more presence from the police.
A request police say they're ready to honor. Reporting to you from Albany, Dan Levy, News 10.
And if you're wondering who pays for the damages to the Williams house, there is a procedure in place that allows homeowners to apply for restitution from the city. Police say they expect to make more arrests. Well, the woman being dubbed the church lady is now out of jail this evening. Last night, a judge sentenced Ruth Schaaf to 15 days in jail for failure to fix the Half Moon church she bought. Schaaf's lawyers tell News 10 she is out of jail while her case is on appeal. A judge will decide next Wednesday whether to let her stay out until the appeal process is over, which could take months. Neighbors near the church, which is on Church Hill Road, complain the building is in disrepair and fear the old structure will come tumbling down. Well, the jury has heard some tearful testimony in the trial of the Army's former top enlisted man. Another of Sergeant Major Gene McKinney's accusers cried on the stand as she described their encounter. Sergeant Christine Roy says McKinney bullied her into sex when she was nearly 8 months pregnant. The UN ambassador from Washington spent the morning in Minneapolis, but it probably felt like longer. Protesters were waiting when Bill Richardson arrived at the University of Minnesota to explain and promote the administration's Iraq agenda.
And I salute you, and I wish you the best, but I have to tell you, on the policy towards Iraq, you were wrong. You were wrong.
Richardson gave up on his speech, but he did take questions from the floor. Some foam material is still in Natalia, Texas, so residents are still not being allowed back in. An explosion at a carpet padding plant created toxic fumes, forcing the evacuation of the entire town. About 1,400 people. Smoke could be seen in San Antonio, which is 30 miles away. El Nino-powered storms are washing parts of California away. The ground has been softened by weeks of rain, and some of the hills of Northern California are falling, like this one in San Leandro. Forecasters say another 2.5 inches of rain is expected this weekend before a long-awaited dry spell comes next week. Well, thanks to El Nino, we'll be seeing warmer temperatures around here this weekend, and Steve is here with us.
You're not kidding. I mean, it's mild out there right now. I know it's a little bit depressing because we haven't seen much, if any, sun the past few days.
Yeah, but the warmth is nice.
The warmth is nice. We're still saving money on the heating bills, and as advertised, the weekend, we should see some marked improvements, especially by Sunday. Now, I think tomorrow will be that transition day. So a little bit of a delay. I don't want to press the panic button yet, but tomorrow doesn't look quite as nice as it had appeared a couple of days ago. Let's check outside right now. We have a cloudy sky, some places getting rain showers. hill towns, a few wet snowflakes mixed in, 39 degrees. Relative humidity 93% with a northwest wind at 6 miles per hour. The barometer continues to be quite low, 2967. Trace of wet weather today for the month, 1.5. High 42, low at 37, so with the low clouds, not much of a fluctuation between the high and low. Daylight, 10 hours and 48 minutes. This evening, cloudy, nothing more than a few mostly light scattered showers. High spots, a higher elevation, especially Adirondacks, a little bit of wet snow, and temperatures in the 30s. We will have the complete forecast, tell you about big improvements by Sunday.
Great.
And Monday, and we'll also tell you about maybe a big storm heading this way.
Oh, feel like March maybe, coming in like a lion?
It could very well do that, yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Well, stay right where you are. We've got much more news for you on News 10 at 5:30. Coming up, the president wants to make sure you get a health care Bill of Rights. And if you're having pain from using a computer at work, a laser might be able to help. Plus, they called him the greatest storyteller in the world. And now the world is saying goodbye. And our last look at where to relax after a day on the slopes.
You're watching the Capital Region's #1 early evening news. News 10 at 5:30 will continue.
Seniors, soldiers, and federal workers are getting a health care Bill of Rights from the president. Mr. Clinton issued the executive order today while at a Maryland Senior Citizen Center. The new order includes direct access to medical specialists, paid emergency room visits, and a right to appeal any denial of medical coverage. Well, computer users say it starts out with tingling and numbness in the hands, and it often ends up so painful that people end up in surgery. It's carpal tunnel syndrome. And as Sue Nigra tells us in the News 10 Health Team report, a major study in Texas is looking at the laser as a way to heal the pain and avoid the knife.
It looks like a beeping flashlight, but Ron Lynn hopes this microlight laser will help him avoid surgery for his carpal tunnel pain.
What do you feel, Ron?
Actually nothing. I just feel the pressure of the instrument against my hand.
Ron has numbness and tingling in his hands when he uses his computer and his carpentry tools. He was eager to try the experimental laser treatment.
I think it's great. Anything that can keep from having to have surgery and having to deal with all the aftermath of surgery, and to be able to do it with no pain and just to come in for just a few moments each day for 3 days a week, that's great.
This is his 4th of 17 treatments.
We basically want to cover the area where the nerves come up the arm and into the hand.
Carpal tunnel syndrome is a common problem for people who use the computer.
If you lean too far forward over your computer, and maybe you do that because you don't have good eyeglasses or something like that, it causes your elbows to bend and your wrists to bend. And that bent wrist position is very bad.
It squeezes the nerve, sending pain shooting down the fingers and up the arm. Baylor researchers believe these laser treatments
actually help heal the nerve right at the carpal tunnel.
Ron may or may not be getting the actual laser. The placebo laser looks and sounds like the real thing.
It does seem a little bit better, but I don't know if it's my mind wanting it to be better.
The advantage of the laser when people do get the real thing is that people like Ron can continue working during the treatments instead of spending weeks to months of recovery and rehab time. And Dr. Lichtman is optimistic that the study will show this tiny laser is a good alternative to surgery. For the News 10 Health Team, I'm Sue Nigra reporting to you.
And here are some tips to avoid carpal tunnel syndrome. Type with your elbows straight. Don't bend your wrist. Take a breath every half hour. And if you have bifocals, you may want to get a special pair of glasses designed for the distance from your eyes to the computer screen. Well, stay right where you are. Still ahead, what you had to say to Murph this week. Plus, actress Halle Berry talks about dysfunctional families in her new movie. And now let's find out how the commute home is going this Friday evening. Here's Ron Allen in the News 10 Traffic Center. Ron?
Thank you very much, Elisa. Big delays right now on the Northway. Got a two-car accident blocking the left lane northbound just past the Twin Bridges. Probably want to take Route 9 as an alternate route to avoid that whole mess. Schoharie County and Esperance, another two-car accident clearing Route 7 at Route 30 and 890. Construction still has the right lane closed westbound approaching exit 6. Have a safe and happy weekend. For News 10 Traffic, I'm Ron Allen.
Thank you, Ron. The country music world is remembering Grandpa Jones. He was one of the pillars of country music. The hee-haw star died at the age of 84 after a series of strokes. Friends say he was the greatest storyteller in the world. Singer Roy Clark says Jones was a remarkable talent. Well, if you're looking for a remarkable movie to see this weekend, just tune in to ABC 10 on Sunday. Oprah Winfrey Productions presents The Wedding, starring Halle Berry. It's the story of a young African-American woman in the 1950s who faces problems and serious questions in the weeks before her wedding. Here she talks about the family in the movie.
They're as dysfunctional as most families are. There's no perfect family. Even ones that we think are perfect have issues. And even though this family is an interracial family, it's really an American family. And no matter what race, religion, or economic status you hold, you probably face your own set of problems that are unique to your family, and this family is no different.
And if you want to see The Wedding, it airs right here on ABC 10 on Sunday night from 9 to 11. Boy, she looked different there, huh?
Yes, she did.
Amazing. Well, Dan Murphy here now airing some of your comments over the past week.
Yes, we get to hear from you folks, and you know, sometimes I just can't win. You can't win for losing. I was full of compliments this week, as you may remember.
You were.
About Dale Earnhardt and the Daytona 500 coverage, about the U.S. women's hockey team, but you think I got all compliments in return? Not a chance. No. As for the Great American Race, I praised the top-notch job done by CBS. I praised Earnhardt for his victory, though I would have liked a little more of a dramatic finish. Maybe it was my comment that Dale must be breathing in too much exhaust fumes if he thinks he's going to win the Winston Cup title that upset people, though not this fan. I, along with you, am not an Earnhardt fan, but I was glad to see him win as well, and I agree with you. Excellent coverage by CBS. As far as Earnhardt's run at the Cup, I got to agree there. Too many fumes. However, the other side, how could Murphy say something like that about Dale Earnhardt? The guy's won 7 Winston Cup titles. I mean, come on, get real. And finally this, for the record, Earnhardt still hasn't won at Daytona 500 since he finished under a green flag. He won't be a true champion until he does that. Well, remember, Earnhardt fans, when you're sharing with your buddies over a few cold ones tonight, that insightful comment did not come from me. As for Olympic hockey, I was very impressed with the U.S. women's team for playing the game as it's meant to be played and not like ladies. A surprising number of you agreed with me. Hell must be freezing over because finally, after 5 years, I agree with a Murphy's Law. The women's hockey team acted like a hockey team. They didn't act like a bunch of tea-sipping ladies when they were on the ice. And this stands right. Just because we're women, we shouldn't have to act polite when it comes to sports. We're going to be aggressive and go out and get it. And finally, Murph, let me clue you in. What do you think the old quilting bees were? They were nothing but trash talk sessions. However, my comments that the women won playing like men while the men lost while playing like old ladies was a little too much for some of you to take. I think you should reconsider that statement. I say women played like very good athletes and the men played like men normally do. And this, I've worked with little old ladies and some very strong men, and I'll tell you, a lot of little old ladies work a heck of a lot harder than these young men. And finally, I guess this sums it all up. As the old saying goes, if you want something done right, do it yourself or have a woman do it. I think you wrote that last one.
Yeah, I had my sister call in.
You snuck that one in there.
Oh, but it's so true. Stay right where you are. Still ahead, Steve's weekend pick. Plus, don't eat until you see our final mountain meal specialty of the house.
The onions start to turn translucent and a little bit brown.
News 10 is brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Stories, tips, investigations. You've got the ideas. We've got the reporters. Call the News 10 hotline, 462-WTEN, and call us for free from your cell phone. Press pound 10 if you're a Bell Atlantic NYNEX customer. Press star 10 if you're with Cellular One. News 10 at 5:30 continues in a moment. But first, what's coming up all new at 6 o'clock?
A man accused of murder cops a plea today to testify against his 3 co-defendants. I'm Alexandra Lee, and I'll tell you why the DA has agreed to this and what the family thinks about this deal.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Brennan. Also ahead, the Schenectady Police Chief getting a new title and some new responsibilities. 25 female high school seniors from around the state are in Whitehall this weekend for a very special reason. And we've got viewer voicemail as we do each Friday. All still ahead, all new at 6 o'clock.
Now, Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo with your exclusive Doppler weather forecast.
All right, nice and warm, but you say a storm pending somewhere along
forget about the weather, will you?
I knew what you were going to get to.
You got chocolate. You're holding out on me. We have some visitors here.
Yeah, they brought me the biggest chocolate truffles you have ever seen.
Don't you hold on.
I'm hiding them.
I share.
Here's the chocolate. No, you didn't the last time.
All right.
A whole pizza you got for us, and you never gave me a piece.
Once, only once.
Okay, well, I remember.
Let's talk about the weather tonight. Then we're going to check out some of the chocolate, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll bring you one.
Where is it, on your desk?
It's on my desk.
Somebody go get it, please. Here's the National Satellite Loop this evening. And what we have going on is this big upper-level storm continuing to persist here in the Northeast. You know, I walk slow, and I could have walked faster than this storm system. That's how long it's been taking to move on to the east of us. Another storm on the coast. This thing will be racing off to the east-northeast, heading out to sea. And notice these low clouds all the way back to the western Great Lakes and northern plains. So, you know, you look at it and you say, where's the clearing going to come from? And that's the big question. I really don't think we're going to see a lot of clearing for the next 24 hours. Now, Sunday should be a different story. Some of this mild weather and quiet weather out west moving in. Rain and snow showers, mostly rain across the east, southwest, some snow in the southern Rockies, and once again, where they don't need that rain in parts of the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, some heavy-duty rainfall and some wind. This is the regional radar. We have some snow and rain showers here in New York and parts of western New England, in particular Vermont, New Hampshire, and the Adirondacks. This will be around probably now till midnight, then just a few scattered snow flurries. But it may be cold enough for an inch or two of snow accumulation up towards Paseco Lake, Indian Lake up in Hamilton County, and north and west of Lake George in the higher elevations. It's not going to be a big deal. Temperatures across the country unseasonably mild again, 59 in Los Angeles, 42 in Chicago, 40 Detroit, near 50 right now at Washington, D.C. So here's Saturday's weather map, a slow, and I mean a real slow drying out process, some sun poking through during the afternoon. But temperatures above normal. Any snow showers will be off to the north and east of us. Here are the temperatures. From Albany north, upper 30s. To the south of us, low to mid-40s. We'll be right around 40, 42 here in Albany. And then Sunday is that high to the west. Notice it gets closer to us, and that means a better chance of sunshine. Now, there will be some moisture lurking to the south of us. This is another storm, and this may chug its way up along the coast early next week, Monday night and Tuesday. We'll watch it for you because it could be a sizable storm, and if it does reach us, it would mean rain or wet snow. This evening, cloudy, a few showers, mostly light showers of rain, a little wet snow in the higher elevations, temperatures in the 30s. Cloudy tonight, a few rain or snow showers, could be an inch or two of accumulation, hill towns, and in particular up in the Adirondacks. That's the best chance, 26 to 32. Cloudy tomorrow, a few breaks of afternoon sun. The best chance will be south of Albany, 37 to 43 with a gusty northwest wind, so a little breezy tomorrow. And here's your 5-day forecast. Sunday looks nice, mostly sunny, and 43. On Monday, mostly sunny and 45, so mild weather. And Tuesday, again, that chance of some rain or snow, and temps in the mid-30s. Things are looking okay for us.
Eat your heart out.
This is them?
Aren't they great?
Now, wait a minute. There was 2 rows in this.
No, is that not how they came, Judy? Yes.
Okay.
Judy Cummings from North Adams.
Judy, I believe you.
Brought me these wonderful things. Aren't they incredible?
Can I have one then?
Yes, you may have one.
Thank you.
You may have one.
This will suppress my appetite for a little while.
Yeah, that ought to add a few pounds.
Thanks.
Speaking of food, it may not be ice cold outside, but it's still cold enough to ski, right?
Yeah, it sure is.
No, we'll get to the food part now, okay? After going skiing, you want to go someplace warm for dinner? Well, so tonight we're going to take you to Hobson's Choice Restaurant in Williamstown. It's just down the road from Jiminy Peak, and the last of our mountain meals and tonight's specialty of the house. It is a casual, intimate restaurant, a rustic stop for those just off the slopes. And there's something for everyone, from vegetarian to seafood. Now let's see what's on the menu for tonight.
Hi, I'm Dan Campbell, and today we're going to cook seafood pasta for you. The main ingredients are shrimp and scallops. We also have a vegetable it starts with, and this over here will be our vegetable side dish. First thing we do is put the pan on some heat, add some oil, and we want to let this oil get a little bit warm, and while that's happening, we'll start the grilled vegetables. This is an olive oil and seasoned base that we're just going to dab on the vegetables to get them going there. Now this oil should be heated up. These vegetables go in. This is my a saute mixture of spices. It's super secret. I can tell you what they are, but it wouldn't be secret anymore, would it? You want to reduce this enough so that onions start to turn translucent and a little bit brown. This is a mixture of seafood stock and roux. It'll thicken this sauce. We're going to add heavy cream to it. White wine. This has to come to a boil and reduce. The shrimp take a little longer to cook than the scallops, so they go in first. We'll put the scallops in. They cook a little quicker. It's time to add garlic. If you add the garlic really early in the cooking, the flavor all cooks out. The later you add it, the stronger the garlic flavor. Parsley goes in. Parsley shouldn't ever go in until the end. It gets a little bitter if it cooks too long. Now last is the pasta will go on. There you go, Hobson's Choice famous seafood pasta. Bon appetit.
And bon appetit indeed.
Absolutely delicious.
Ooh, I want to thank Kristen and Chiharu too for those. Wonderful. And I hope you leave. I hope there's a few left for me.
Don't worry, there's 2 left.
That looks great. That's going to do it for News 10 at 5:30. Before you start your weekend, stick around for News 10 at 6 o'clock because here's Jim Brennan with our top story.
A prosecutor is hoping 4 divided by 1 will get him 3.